I stepped away momentarily from my duties as the SourceCon editor to attend the ERE Conference in Austin, Texas earlier this year. And in addition to learning so much about the talent industry, I had the opportunity to chat with luminaries in the space. See for yourself as I report live from ERE.
Jim Stroud here, your SourceCon editor. Reporting live from ERE this time instead of SourceCon. And here at ERE, I'm meeting all kinds of wonderful, interesting people, such as this young lady. Hello, young lady, how are you?
Young lady, you get all the points. I'm doing well, Jim, very well.
Well, you know what? I want to talk to you. This is Carmen Hudson, for those who don't know. Her name's on the screen. There it is, boom. All right, so one thing I wanted to ask you about is actually another conference. Like I'm the editor of SourceCon. Everybody watching this knows. Reporting live from ERE, but there is yet another conference that people have been talking about for quite a while called Talent 42. And I understand you were there from the beginning.
I was there from the beginning. It started as an idea. So John Vlasalika and I, John Vlasalika of Recruiting Toolbox.
Hey, John.
Hey, John. We were just tossing, we had been to some conferences and we were talking about the things that we enjoyed and the things that we didn't enjoy as much. And if we were going to build our own conference, what would we include?
Okay.
And we came upon the idea that at the time, we were so involved with so many tech companies that we wanted to build a conference that was focused on tech recruiting. That was the hardest thing that people would come to us and say, we've got to solve these problems within tech recruiting. And so from there, our conversations started to take on more of a reality tinge, and thus it was born. Now, it was not initially Talent 42. We tossed out many, many different names, and Talent 42 won out over TechTucon.
TechCon?
Yeah, no, TechTucon.
TechTucon?
Yeah, TA.
Spell that. Oh,
yeah,
Tech TA Con.
Yeah, but we had to do this, and I just said no.
Glad you changed it.
I think so. And we came up with Talent 42, and once we came, and I don't remember if it was John or, it was probably John, probably not me, because I had never read the series of scratch that part. Yeah. But anyway, I'd never read the book, and it was incredible because we had no idea how conferences worked. We'd only been to conferences. And it was so interesting to start to plan and invite guests. But one of the principles that we laid out was that every Talent 42 would feature not only speakers from the recruiting world, but also some of our tech managers, some of our tech leaders.
Okay.
And that's how we start to build out just really interesting groups of people to come and visit and talk with us. And that's how it all started.
All right, so your niche was not just recruiters, but also the tech managers, people, the hiring managers, I guess.
That's it.
You say, wow.
That's it. And that's who we wanted to hear from. That's who we had questions from. And we had such great response to that. And recruiters who would help us bring in their managers, and we started to even get just managers reaching out to us and say, hey, I want to tell your audience this or that. We weren't a media company, so we couldn't grow out all the things around it in the way that ERE does with blogs and posts and that kind of thing. We had other work that we had to do, but we loved building out that content for people.
Now, when did Talent 42 begin? What was like the first year?
Oh, I have to go back, but I think it was 2012.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe it was even sooner, 2012, 2013, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. And has it always been in Seattle, which is where it is now, right?
It was always in Seattle because John and I were planning it, and we were based in Seattle, and we didn't want to have to go anywhere to try to plan it. So that's why it was based in Seattle, but it's also a great place for tech recruiters. It's a great base, and a lot of the news was coming out of that area anyway, so.
If someone is out there watching this now and they're thinking, hey, you know what? I could do a conference, I should do one. What advice would you give them?
You can do one. Can you do one profitably? Don't know. But give it a shot, or at the very least start with a local organization where you're bringing people in and having them talk about these topics. I belong to a couple of our local organizations, and I try to show up at ERE, at SourceCon, and other conferences as often as I can because it lets me hear all the great new information that's coming out. I get to hear from like the great Jim Durbin. I get to hear from all kinds of people, and just helps me expand my own thinking.
Great. I'm thinking that if you can create and keep a consistent meetup going,
That's it.
then that's probably the building block of being a conference promoter.
Absolutely. A meetup, maybe there's a local group and you can invite speakers. The idea of having managers come and join you and talk about what their frustrations are or what their successes have been, that's easy to do. And you can get a group of people. It doesn't have to be a large group of people. We never grew Talent 42 beyond 250 people because we just didn't have the capacity to build something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess that's a pleasant problem to have.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to get in contact with you and they have more questions, how can they find you online?
They can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me at carmenhudson.com, and you can reach out and email me, whatever you want to do. You can find me out there.
Thank you so much. And last question, can I get a hug?
Oh, absolutely.
Yay!